How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another news and updates with RONIN 47R. These are few and far between, but now's the time to go ahead and bring out this series again for a quick dip into the website here. You can see that today is September 15th, and if you know what that means, then you will not be surprised to see a couple things going on here. One of which is some mention about the typhoon update that came out. It says, check out update 3.3 typhoon today, so you can check that out. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and start with the most recent and go backwards, because there's some really exciting things going on in World of Tanks right now as we speak. Now, the most recent post is the SU-85I, and it highlights this, the bundles and the tanks and that sort of thing that's going on, the things they have lined up in the store. And again, kind of going to skip all the details because you do not want to be read to, just point out the highlights, and that is basically the SU-85I is being offered again in the store. And although I like pretty much all the tanks, I can really say I like TDs, and this is a good thing to get if you're into it. So if you haven't purchased it, you may be interested in picking that thing up. If you want to find out the details on that, I'm sure I have a few videos that you can dig out. Meanwhile, the 100 Years of Tanks in-game contest was also posted today, and that's because there's a 100th year anniversary going on right now. In fact, in real life, over in England, there was the Mark I was cruising around in real life and being filmed and put onto the internet. It was pretty cool to watch how slow it was, but it was really neat to see. And again, not going to read all the details, just going over highlights. And basically, you can sign up here. I already did. You click here and you can sign up, and there's a contest. And it says here, if you, between these dates, listed the September 15th and the September 28th dates, if you play at least 100 battles, they're going to go ahead and take the best 100 base XP scores that you achieve to calculate your individual average. And they're going to have prizes for the top 50 on Xbox One and 360, which to me, I don't know if I should read into that. Is it 50 for the One and 50 for the 360? Because it says the word both. I don't know. We have prizes for the top 50 on Xbox. Whatever. Maybe it's a combination of the two. And then meanwhile, there's going to be the top 50 on the PlayStation 4. So go ahead and sign up for that. I mean, it couldn't hurt, right? So what are those prizes? Wow. 3 days of premium for the 26th to the 50th, so half of them. Then the next echelon up goes, next tier up, you get 7 days. And then up there's a T25 for the 4th through 10th. And then the Type 59 for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place winners. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to click on the news instead of scrolling up, save a little bit of time. Now, this guy here is the last thing I'm going to highlight for you. And the reason being is that this is kind of part of what's really, really big going on in the world right now in World of Tanks. You have the Centennial T95 that you have probably at this point in time heard so much about, as well as the T3488 that has come out. And a few of us have made some reviews or put out whatever videos we have, us YouTubers. And we've got some good stuff for you. And lo and behold, my friends at Wargaming, I'm really happy to see that. Look at that. It's yours truly right there, the first one that you can see, and there's my review for you. Hopefully you guys appreciate that. There's some other YouTubers that do some great jobs creating up some vids here, some other buddies out there in the world. And feel free to check those guys out as well. And they gave us some credit down here, which is very many awesome. Some quotes from the community, pretty cool. And there's some ace packages operations if you purchase those. If not, you also have the chance to earn the T95, the Centennial T95 as well. Skipping down here real quick, since we are looking at it though, you got these packages that are being offered, and they're piecing them out based on dates is when you can get the full package and loaded and all that kind of stuff, ultimate, and all those other words that basically mean it costs less over time, and eventually you can get the base model. As an example, you can get the base model. Well, here's loaded, which is a lot less than the ultimate or mega bundle or whatnot. For 4,800 gold there. Then down below here from the 26th to the 30th, they've really slimmed it down even further. And then you can see here the ultimate base model, if you will, which is right here, these two guys. So if you want to wait until the 26th to purchase, well, then that's your window. Meanwhile, I'm just going to take a quick gander up here. And it says here, double checking here. Yeah, so it's just sharing with you, yep, just the package. So pretty cool. Nothing too crazy there. And that pretty much wraps it up. I'm just jumping in here and sharing it with you. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump over into the garage. I didn't just get home, but I'm just now getting on, and let's go ahead and turn to the garage and see what Santa has brought me. All right, folks. So like I said, we just went ahead and turned away from the website here, and now we're taking a look at the Xbox itself, and I'm going to go ahead and jump into multiplayer and literally, sometimes I kind of rehearse things in the sense that have a game plan, know what I'm going to be talking about. In this case, I'm literally just jumping in here and going to experience this stuff for the first time along with you. And when I say the first time, I mean actually kind of getting my my hands dirty. This morning before work, I gave you a little teaser of a first look to see what was going on, and now we're going to go ahead and go a little deeper with it. To make things easier, I think it would make sense to go ahead and bring in basically the three things that have changed. And I guess I should probably bring in... Well, hello, everybody. That is magical. All right, so there you go. Here are some... God, man, that thing is so big. Look at that thing. That is amazing. So here is the Mark 1. And there you see the FV4202. Look how small it is compared to that tank, P. And that's the premium, the new premium that you would get if you were to have previously owned the FV4202 as a tier 10 tank. So that's that. Now, meanwhile, if you look over here, it's never been used. It's brand new. Well, what do you notice? That is a Centennial. I guess they call it the Centennial, although on the short version they call it Centennial, and the long version is Centennial T95. I just now realized that this is the first time I'm looking at it in the garage, so this is pretty cool. It reminds me of the Fury with all the customized goodies on it, and wow, it's pretty neat. Look at that barbed wire on there. That's so cool. Huh. So what is that? Is that to keep people from climbing up on it because they're used to having folks run up on you or something? Or is that just cosmetic stuff? I mean, sandbags I get. Barbed wire? I've never seen that before. That's something I'm going to have to investigate. Pretty cool. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into this guy here and sniff him out and see what is going on. All right, well, first of all, it's a tier 8 across the board except for two components, one of which is the radio, which is the engine, which, depending on the weight of the vehicle, you would think that's going to be a pretty fast vehicle. Now over here, I'm really interested in the gun. So you're looking at a 90mm gun, which is pretty typical that I see in mediums, tier 8. That's it. 90mm just kind of comes to mind immediately. Aiming time 220, accuracy 0.36. I'm thinking pretty average aim time, and it's not too bad. In fact, it might be just this side of actually being on the better side of an aim time. Accuracy, I mean, it's not a sniper, but it's not too terribly bad either. And then what do we have here? Some hull traverse of 40 degrees. Okay, view range of 380, not too shabby. That's actually pretty darn decent there for the medium tank. And we're going to look at the armor a little later, but 254 and 8951, that's pretty hardcore for the front. So definitely a face-forward type of turret. Now, meanwhile, the penetration, 202 and 240, you got your the premium at 238, okay, 7.23. All right, kind of just putting those in the back of my mind. Pretty cool. Meanwhile, there's like a weird moth or something flying around, attracted to the light in the room. So, one of the things that I don't highlight enough that I need to start doing more is seeing what are the costs of the consumables. And oh man, that is a very inexpensive round. $350. This can be a moneymaker just because of that factor. It's almost in the 200s, like the ATM 88 Jagdpanzer. So, pretty darn cool. All right, so getting out of there, I'm really curious to see if you can customize this guy. So camouflage, you cannot put camouflage on this guy. Huh. All right, well, that's that. So it naturally has camouflage. has one spot for, as you can see, an emblem. It's like a one-eyed jack or something. So let's go ahead and put in our emblem, knock that out. If I had a bottle of champagne, I would be breaking it over the hull, casting it off into the sea and getting it going there. It's pretty cool. So gosh, you know, this kind of tank, I'm really anticipating it being something along the lines of, well, for me, the way I would play mediums is really running around and poking and seeing what's up and trying to flank and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in a gun rammer. I've already got the vents going. You know, some would argue throwing some binocs or something like that. I don't think so. I really think that since I'm going to be cruising around, want to take a shot, move on, I'm going to throw in a V-stab there, a vertical stabilizer. That my gut says that is the way to go on this tank. Worst comes to worst, I'll go ahead and change that out. And again, if you do change that out, it's, you know, a nickel, I guess. So not too crazy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play it a little conservative and start off with that because, well, if you, well, let me go ahead and get this. If I correctly, let's do this, and do this, and then, okay, I'll risk it. I'm going to go ahead and put you in there, boom. Okay, so he is all snazzy. So if I read it correctly, you're looking at the potential to play up to tier 10s, which means you're going to need some premium to even have a chance at that party. So I can always change it back. Why not? Why not? Let's get crazy. So there you go. There you go. All right. So now she is all loaded out and good to go. And yeah, pretty crazy stuff here. If you press the Y button, you will see, as I pointed out in my first look, you can see that they now have kind of, I call it like a Generation 1, kind of an armor inspector, Gen 1, if you will. Now this is when they have all the modules. You can isolate the modules. They have some information in the upper left-hand corner. You have the overall generic information on the right-hand side, and I like how they have actual metrics now instead of just a bar graph. And you can take a look at the individual components as we go through, and they're just highlighting where the different modules are. So as an example, if you are shooting at the turret and your goal is to ammo rack, which is, why not? I mean, it's a great thing to do. If you're in the rear, you might as well shoot for the center and a little off to the side, if that makes sense, you know, from your particular angle, because you have to compensate for the shape of the armor in order to penetrate. But you can see you're going to increase your chances by hitting it from that side, whereas if you were just aiming straight through over here, you're not going to hit that. Now, meanwhile, you also have the other modules, and I call them modules. They're crew members, but they're components internally. And there are some crew members there, so you have 4. And so you can see where if you pen in these areas, you have a higher chance of taking out a particular individual, which of course will make it more adverse to playing the game for the player of the tank that you just took out a module or a crew member. So there you go. Max speed 42. Pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and back out from this and look at it from a normal standpoint. And that pretty much concludes our taking a look at the Centennial. I'm going to go ahead and separate this video into look versus actual play, and finish taking a deeper look at some of these guys real quick, and then call it a day. And then, like I said, go ahead and jump into some gameplay following. So there you go. One of the things that does surprise me, though, is looks like he is a 50% crew member in the T95, which I don't know how that occurs, because he came with the tank. Okay. Over here, we do have the Mark 1, and something that I've been wanting to kind of jump into and inspect. Let's see this. See, you can't put anything on there. Is the crew. What crew can you put in there? And look at that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Put whoever you want in there. That's crazy. First time ever. Bizarre. I mean, look, put an American guy in there. All right, so now an American guy's in there. Crazy, crazy times. And then where does it shoot from? What's going on? I don't know. This is going to be kind of a fun little mystery when we go to take this guy out, huh? Oh, almost forgot. Oh, look, that's nice how it shows you the skills to the right. It's a little different icons. one of the things you want to take a look at here, and again, this is a tier 1, is looking at the armor. Who, what, when, where. Huh. So some purple action. They need to have some type of legend or something that would make a little more sense for us, I think. I think that would be good for the average person. Anyways, because not everybody goes out and researches this stuff. They just get in there and play. All right, cool. So good times, guys. So there are the 3 new tanks. Well, air quotes new for the FV. But there's the purchasable Centennial. And just for the fun of it, I'll go ahead and bring this guy in just to make sure that we are absolutely on the same page here. Oh, I guess I should make them all mediums, yeah? So there you go. And then, of course, as you are very familiar, because I've played this several times and had it for a long time, of course, this is something that is also for sale, which is the T-34-88. And there she is in all her glory, including the one MOE there. And hopefully someday I'll have another MOE. And then just to kind of round this thing out, I will go ahead and break out the tier 10, because that's something I'm kind of curious to see again. And let's go ahead and come over here to, well, this is what we're going to do. It's just a little easier to do this, and medium, and that was easier. So there's the Action X, and I think it's a good looking tank. I'm curious to see how this thing is going to play. I do have some experience on it, but that's because it was a carryover from the previous tank. And some folks were talking about the Spotlight here in my group in Club Wargaming, and it's my understanding that that is not a Spotlight. That would be more of an infrared. So it's a light, but it's an infrared light, not for your naked eye. So I think it's a handsome tank, looking good. Now, one last thing to take a look at would be the tech tree. Because, as you may or may not remember, you have a heavy tank, the Conqueror, and now they've made an additional tank, not just the FV-21-5B, which is sticking around. They've made a companion to that, so you now have another option for, and you still have the same old options for mediums, although, like we previously discussed, the Centurion AX has been the replacement, or is the replacement. So there you go. Ops, nothing crazy. You got the Centennial T95. So just as long as you play as this thing, you get a ×2 training, which is pretty darn cool. And then over here, place in the top 3 damage dealers on your team. Play one of the following. So either the Centennial T95 or the Mark I. And what do you get? You earn 100 years of honor. What does that mean? I honestly don't understand what that means. Multiplayer and special event only. We're going to have to check that thing out. Maybe it means it's connected to the, it translates to the participation in the contest that you have to sign up for. Not sure. All right. Well, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And the next video that I'll be busting out with after this will be, of course, individual rides in these new, awesome, very cool, premium British tanky tanks. Not him. Some other day. Not him. Some other day. But definitely I want to take him for a spin, and him for a spin, and the tier 1 too, because that's pretty weird. Pretty weird. So cool, but weird. Can't get over how massive that thing is. Let's put that next to a Tog. All right, guys. Take it easy. I'll catch you next time. Now, where did my crew go off to? Oh, I see. There they are. Okay, girls, tell them who they are if they're receiving this transmission.
You are one of the 47 Ronin. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.